Hey, welcome back. In this video I will be discussing very briefly the fertilization scheme that I'm using in 2021. Every year I'm experimenting a little bit, and the reality is that almost everything goes. There are some people that only use synthetic fertilizer, there are people that only use organic fertilizer, and there are people that mix it, and in between you have solid uh, slow release synthetic, slow release organic, which is pellets or any other sort of powder, and you have liquid organic, which is, for example, fish hydrolysate and kelp, and you have synthetic chemicals such as the blue powder that you buy. But really, essentially everything does the job. Now let me show you what I'm doing this year. On a pot like this, I will put a tablespoon per location, and a location is essentially the size of my palm or fist. So on a pot like this I'll have maybe 3 locations. On a pot like this I'll have maybe 4 locations, and it's a little bit spread, it doesn't have to be perfect. Here I'll have maybe 4 or 5 locations, and as you can see, I'm not even using tea bags anymore. This sort of pellet of hen manure, it expands as you water, so once it expands it grips the surface, and then there is no risk of it being washed away. So really the only thing I do on my first watering is to be careful, water it just the same way that I water a newly repotted tree, to make sure that the top dressing doesn't get pushed out, and I do this on all the trees, and it grips, and there is no unsightly tea bag, no unsightly basket, no need for cakes. This one was watered already, and as you can see, it started expanding and it's already gripping the surface. I will probably water it again just to make sure it holds. The maples that were recently defoliated and are 20 days ago and are growing, I'm not putting fertilizer. I don't want to increase internal length more than necessary, but next month they will be fertilized. Now a tree like this, which is very hard, which is extremely hard to put fertilizer on, I will simply use liquid fish and kelp, which I dispense through my hose with a dosatron. But this one too. But otherwise, this one also has not been fertilized yet. This one, even on small ones, I can put. Sometimes it's a bit challenging with the angle, but more often than not there is no problem at all. Even here on a steep mound of moss, it's possible to put the fertilizer in a manner that it doesn't get taken away, lost with the watering. Sometimes you lose a little bit, but it's not a big issue. Here on this larch, 4 locations. A tree like this one obviously cannot have that, and here I will rely solely on the fish and kelp that are in this container as a concentrate and get diluted with the dosatron at the 2% and comes through my hose. So this is my fertilizing methodology this year. It's slightly different from other years where I used tea bags and I haven't used fish and kelp, but essentially everything works. What's most important is what are you trying to accomplish, and for example, if you have a tree refinement, not to overly fertilize because this will cause excessive growth, and if you have a tree development, crank it up on the fertilizer because it will use all you put. So don't sweat it, use whatever you can get your hands on, whatever is more convenient for you, for the type of trees that you have, the type of planting that you have. Yeah, and that's it. So thank you for now, and until the next one, bye bye.